Hey, systems. When I say systems, I mean stuff I do repetitively, um, in the hopes of achieving some version of myself, right? So maybe it's like looking at the news for a specific industry every day just to make sure I'm knowledgeable about that industry, or maybe it's reading research papers in a specific domain to make sure I'm knowledgeable about the literature, up to date with the literature in that domain. And in terms of my systems, I think I've really abandoned them since March. I want to say, I think after March, everything just kind of fell apart. I was just like much more project focused, from one project to the next. But I really want to get back into it because I think with systems, what they allow or what they give you is you subconsciously, unknowingly become this version of yourself that you want to be. Right? It's not like for a lot of stuff I want to do or be, there's not really a discrete task that can lead to that version of myself, right? But a system does help a lot in terms of growing myself into that person. Um, so in terms of what systems or what stuff I want to bring into my new system, it's really just the same stuff from before, but like improve on it. For example, with a while back when I started getting to research papers, I think in freshman year, what I was doing was using Notebook LM to get a high level overview through podcasts. So maybe I'll have like three papers and I'll listen to podcasts as I'm going on a walk, right? And then I'm like, okay, these papers are really cool. But now, as I've gotten this amazing device that is an iPad, I can really dig deep into papers. I really want to expand that. I want to do maybe like, let's say, seven papers, do a Notebook Alarm podcast of it. And then from those seven papers, I choose like three that I really want to dig into that are relevant to my work and just start annotating and making sure I can develop I feel like expertise is a bit far fetched, but I really want to be able to answer questions about the work and be able to ask the right questions and extract the right insights. And even from there, go into the references. It's like, oh, maybe this will be a really good paper for myself, and then add it there. I think I do have the tools in place. I've been using them, just not in the best system possible. Like I have Zotero, which I love because I love looking at papers. Like I'll just be scrolling on Twitter. I'll see like a paper I really like, and I'll have it like, oh dang, I'm gonna forget about it in like 2 days. But having Zotero and being able to like organize everything to the relevant categories has been really helpful. So it's really just to make sure every night before I go to bed, just to make sure I send the right papers to Notebook LM to have the podcast ready by the morning. Um, this is about bit out of left field, but I do also want to start going back to the gym. During March, I was having a great gym session or gym season where for Lent I was trying to go to the gym every day, which I did, thank God, honestly. But after March, April, May just fell apart. I can feel the effects for sure. But I also just think the gym allows you to have this feeling of accomplishment at the end of the day. So let's say I'm working on a project or doing some research and that's not going too well. I can at least say today I went to the gym, I accomplished my routine. Like I did that. I think that helps a lot in terms of just making sure you have those little deliverables for the day. Also just like it builds your body. So I think that's one of the things like I was saying with the system that a discrete task may not lead to the person you want to be, but a system where I think a gym and just working out is the best example of that, or one of the best examples. Um, Going back into research though, I do want to be doing more networking. I think with networking, I'm in a position where I'm not part of a lab with a group, right, with experienced people. I think I really want to join one. Also, just be able to extract insights from people who have much more experience than I myself. So I really want to go back to the networking. Like when I first networking, can't speak. When I first started networking in college, I was doing like maybe 10 people a day, right? Like I'll read a research paper and I'll just like add everyone on LinkedIn and then maybe reach out to five of them. But I want to get back into that and be more strict where from the papers I read, and other work, I just connect with people on LinkedIn and then I send maybe like 5, 10 messages a day and then just see who can get back to me. So whether it's set up a coffee chat or asking a quick question, just have that. So maybe out of like let's say in a week I get 70 people done and only 10 respond. I think that's a lot of value for myself. So I really want to get back into that. And hopefully of those 10, I can be even asked to work on a project, join a lab. And what I realized is that technically the lab doesn't have to be in Maryland. I could do online work. So that's another thing I have to also do. I have to open my horizons to non-University of Maryland labs. Um, but on that note, in terms of networking, I do think another thing I have to do with my research is I do have to be much more out there. I was listening to some videos or watching some videos about how people go into these research labs are really cool, and a lot of it was that they put themselves out there, their work as well, in the form of blogs or just post. I think that's something I have. I'm in a great position to do. Like Star Labs, right, is a great vessel for that. I can be doing. I have like a whole blog page. I can be doing a bunch of intermediate posts about the work I'm doing. So whether it's like, oh, maybe you don't need messages for this whole subject idea, or maybe it's like, oh, total Langerian versus updated Langerian approaches, or maybe it's something like maybe some research ideas. Like even now, I was doing some research. I'm wrapping up before I start getting the poster ready, which is kind of like a very short time frame because May 29th is when I had to like print my poster. I was doing some work and I was like, oh dang, I really want to train a 3D Gaussian scene, but have the physics compute. I don't have a multi-material 3D Gaussian scene. I have the Gaussians instantiated properly. So imagine this rubber duck over here. I think it's rubber. And imagine this Play-Doh thing. Imagine if they fused Dragon Ball style. And then you could very visibly see that the head was rubber and the bottom was Play-Doh, right? With a 3D Gaussian scene, I wanted to operate in such a way where when you train the scene, it knows which one is which. So it can adjust with the physics and view Gaussian substrate, it can adjust the parameters so it reflects that. And I think a really cool way to do that is maybe have like some diffusion model that's intermediate in the process of a 3D Gaussian scene, and that provides like a heat map esque of like a material thing, so it can show, oh, this is more elastic, or the plasticity, or whatever. Like it can show the mechanical and kinematic properties, and then based off that, you can then trace in 3D. You can instantiate the right um, Gaussians for that part of the body, and you can then fine tune it, or not fine tune, but like optimize it so it fits the body more properly. Um, that's a cool research idea, right? And that could just be one of those things. I just write a blog post and say, hey, someone else should take this on. And a lot of those stuff are ways that people can see what myself and my lab are doing, what we're accomplishing. I think I've been very slow on that, even with Twitter. I haven't even announced the CVPR work on Twitter, which is really weird because I announced on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn obviously has a lot of great people, but in terms of the researchers who will be interested in stuff like this, it will be Twitter. So I really have to get back into that and make sure I'm sharing more of my work. I don't think I have to do videos, even though I'm a bit tempted, but I think the videos take up too much time, um, given the position I'm in. And a lot of this is very much solo work. I don't think I need to do that. Um, but yeah, I think those are the systems I really want to get back into. I already have my current systems in place. So like I have a Bible study every morning. Mornings on. This is a side note, right? I probably should cut this out, but this is a side note. So for about like 4 years now, I've been doing like this Bible study thing with the Bible app, where like every night, originally, I would just get in the Bible app and do like the Bible study plan and like read the chapter of the day. But where I realized is that actually doing the morning is much more helpful, because then when you do it in the nighttime, you're tired. It's like, oh dang, I don't want to do this, and like your flesh is really, it's like, man, do something else. Like in the morning, it feels like this is like the requirement to start the day. That's much easier. Um, so I think that's one of the systems I've really hammered down. It's like one of my best systems out there. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I think it's really just to get started. I think I can get started tomorrow. Nothing technically I already got started with the network and stuff. So tomorrow, I'll do like a fresh start, get the research papers ready and all that. Um, but yeah, besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.